Hey guys, so this is part 2 of the recognize your level of crazy and manage it with EQ, imprisonment, refinement, lockdown, and just feeling like you're trapped. So after going through the tour in Alcatraz and listening to some of the prisoners, because I have things recorded, of the people that stayed here and some of the criminals that stayed here, it's pretty fascinating to hear some of the things that they did to keep themselves from going crazy. And we were talking about what do you do to escape, right? How do you get your mind, because imprisonment can mean a lot of things, like we said, right? You could be physically imprisoned, like you are here, like they were here and Alcatraz. And how do you keep yourself sane? How do you, because the mind is where the freedom is, right? Everything's in the mind. So you can either do your time or the time can do you. And so some of the prisoners actually said that some of the things that they would do is when they were in the hole, which was solitary confinement, what is it? I can't pronounce it right now for some reason, but when they were in the hole, when they were locked up for bad behavior, and they were by themselves in these little cells, one inmate would play with a little button that he would take off of his jacket, and he would throw it on the ground, and he would go looking for it because it was dark in there. And that's what he would do to keep himself occupied. Another person would find a little light coming through a little hole, and he would imagine the light getting bigger, ultimately creating a TV. And he would watch, like he said, I would watch TV, and he would create like a fantasy world for himself. Other inmates said that reading books, they had a library here, and reading books was one of the most important things that they could do, because it helped them to escape mentally into these stories, and it would help them bond with people from all over the world. So again, when we talk about being imprisoned and being confined, whether it's physically or mentally, when we put ourselves in situations where we feel like we are trapped, the mind is our best EQ tool. And we got to find ways to create those escapes using our mind, finding meaning, finding purpose, and finding ways to overcome these feelings if we are in a situation where we can't just walk away. And so I hope, hoping that these lessons from these very powerful and interesting folks that were here one day here at Alcatraz experienced, and they were in the most imprisoned situation. So if this was their ability, just like Viktor Frankl, the man who was in the concentration camps that we talked about, also found ways through meaning of life and finding his life's purpose to be able to overcome such difficulties. We can for sure do the same if we make an effort. So with that, guys, remember, when you know and understand yourself, the world will know and understand you too. And what's the best that can happen? All right, guys, take care.